Welcome to this week's installment of Reading with Robin, your number one destination since 2002 for insightful author interviews and discussions on everything literary. And with no further introduction, your host, Robin Call.
Donna has left the building. The brand new novel by the one and only Susan Jane Gilman. Susie, also the author of Kiss My Tiara, Hypocrite in a Poofy White Dress, Undress Me in the Temple of Heaven, and the Ice Cream Queen of Orchard Street. Anybody who listens to Reading with Robin and has known me through the years knows that I am a huge fan of Susie J. Gilman. Find her on SusanJaneGilman.com. Do not miss this book. Donna has left the building. It is fabulous, and when I tell people in person, I do this big sweeping hand motion of Donna has left the building. Welcome to Reading with Robin, Susan Jane Gilman.
Hey, Robin, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. I'm thrilled that you love the new novel.
Loved. And when I see you next, I will bring my galley, which is, I have all these things. Dog-eared. These are probably all the things I wanted to ask you. But I just am so excited to speak with you. You're on tour. The book just came out last week, and right now you're in California. So how's book tour going? Let's start there.
Book tour has been breakneck. They have me, the first week alone, I'm in 6 cities in 7 days. And this afternoon, I'm reading at Book Passages here in San Francisco. Tomorrow, I'm at Third Place Books in Lake Forest, right outside of Seattle. They're great independent bookstores. I was at Literati in Ann Arbor, Schuler Books in Grand Rapids, R.J. Julia in Connecticut, and the spectacular Anderson's Book in Chicago, the LaGrange store. And I'm pronouncing that correctly, not LaGrange, LaGrange. I was schooled by my Midwestern relatives. And if this is airing Tuesday, if anybody is in the New York area, come see me at Barnes & Noble on Broadway and 82nd Street on Monday, June 17th at 7 p.m. We're going to have a great time because my family's going to be in the audience, and you can hear an assortment of snort laughs that don't really exist outside of my DNA.
They definitely do. I'm very familiar with those laughs, and that's awesome. So that's Monday, June 17th at the Barnes & Noble in, which one is it?
The one in Manhattan, 82nd Street and Broadway, Upper West Side,
the Upper
7
West
p.m.
Side. The best
yes,
one on the Upper West Side.
Yes, you'll notice a man who will be my father probably standing outside pointing to my picture, accosting people on the street saying, why aren't you inside listening to my kid?
Does he do that? That's so awesome.
Oh, he once threatened not to pay his dental bill until the dentist had a copy of each of my books in the waiting room, as well as given to the dental hygienists on team. My dad is my number one fan. I mean, other than you.
Oh, thank you. I know. I can't believe I haven't met him. What an amazing thing, though, because it's such an accomplishment. I mean, your books are unforgettable because I can say that, first of all, I can say all of the titles without looking at anything, and I can remember where I was and when I was reading them, and the people that have shared titles with me and then I've shared these titles with. And so they're deeply affecting, and there's so much heart, humor, and everything good in your books, and I adore them, and I love to, as I love to share books that I enjoy with people. And somebody was just telling me that they had just read Undress Me in the Temple of Heaven, a fan who's coming to the event. So also to say, Susan Jane Gilman will be in Rhode Island on Wednesday, June 26th for our huge blowout, amazing summer author event. Tickets are not really on sale. You could probably beg for one, and I might relent. I did this morning.
What is it? It's like the Hamilton or the Bruce Springsteen or of book reading events.
You had me at Hamilton. Can you imagine LMM coming to this event? I would just fall off of my head. So that is happening June 26th at the Quidnesset Country Club, and you can send me a message through the Reading with Robin page for more information. While you're on Facebook, head over to Susan Jane Gilman's author page. Make sure you like it. I mean, these things, explain why all of these things are so important to an author.
Sure. I want to back up a little and just say that none of my books are the same. Robin I started out sort of with a guide to power and attitude for young women that I wished I'd had, called Kiss My Tiara. And then I wrote Hypocrite in a Poofy White Dress, which was memoir stories about growing up in New York. Undress Me in the Temple of Heaven, about a disastrous backpacking trip through China when I was fresh out of college and knew nothing. And then finally I got around to writing novels. And The Ice Cream Queen of Orchard Street was a historical novel about an immigrant girl who becomes a doyen of ice cream franchises. And now Donna's left the building, which we'll talk about. But each one is very different. So I'm hoping that there's something for everybody. But in the course of my career, I've seen how much the book industry has changed, and getting the word out has changed. And that's why coming to an author page, connecting with all of us writers, we sit alone in a room and we write these books and put them out into the ether. We don't see people buying them. We don't know if you've read them. And it's a really kind of word-of-mouth thing. So if you come to my author page, you'll be able to hear from me what I'm thinking about, writing about. I talk about other authors' books that I like. So it's great to hear from readers and to give you some inside scoops, and also just to interact. It's gotten lonelier. We're all on our screens. We're all like emailing and tweeting and posting and Instagramming and Snapchatting and Zooming and Slacking. But
wait, I missed a few of those things. But I think I'm a little behind. I think I'm going to rewind this and hear what else I am not doing
some of that is inter-office things, which of course I heard about from my friend's 14-year-old daughter, as one does.
They know everything, right?
So spreading the word. If you like a book, please, write good reviews about it on Goodreads or on Amazon. Tell your friends. Come see us lonely authors, going from bookstore to bookstore, and it makes the bookstore owners happy, and it's a really good time.
And it's a win-win-win. We were talking off air about that, and that's the authors are writing these amazing books. People get to share them with friends, enjoy them. It's so important to keep the independent bookstores happy and in business, and so that's really the trifecta of the literary world. And I'm glad you mentioned how different the books are, and I'm on the phone with Susan Jane Gilman. Her brand new novel, Donna Has Left the Building, is out, and you do not want to miss this book. I've posted a lot on Facebook, and everybody knows how much I love talking about the books that are important to me, and they are all so different, and that's probably why I remember. They don't blend, Susie. I mean, they all have, there's a commonality and there's your essence, and that's why we read your books. But they are also different, and they're books that I like to share, and they're just great to, if you're going somewhere over the summer and you want to bring a gift, bring an autographed book. And a lot of these independent bookstores
that's a great idea. I don't think to do that.
You bring chocolate. You do the.
Yeah, I bring chocolate.
You bring chocolate. So you more than do your part. But I love bringing autographed books when I go to visit somebody's home or I stay somewhere. I have it signed to them. I always think that's a great thing. And I know that readers know that often there's a way to get an autographed book plate or go to the hometown store. Mostly they will sell the books, and you'll be able to do that. I can't believe how dog-eared my copy of Donna is. I'm also preparing for our big June 26th event, so that's probably why I did that. That's my method. I read the book, I dog-ear things, I make notes, I go back, and I try and come up with some brilliance. And I'm not going to share any of that brilliance on the show right now because I'm going to leave it all to you. So talk about Donna. What was the gem of the idea?
Donna began with a sort of cutting remark my grandfather made to me when I was 14 years old. I told him I wanted to be a writer, not a scientist. He was a scientist. And he said he looked at me and said, well, unless you're going to rewrite the Odyssey or Don Quixote, there's really no novel worth redoing. And, when you're in high school, you think, well, why would anybody want to read the Odyssey or Don Quixote, let alone rewrite it? But it stuck with me, and as I read these books,
I didn't know that.
And as I had to slog through them in high school, although I confess I kind of did like the Odyssey a lot, what I took away from it was not that here are these romantic classic heroes. I thought, these are middle-aged guys who are having a midlife crisis and behaving really badly. You know, Odysseus takes 10 years to come home to his wife because he's sleeping with a goddess, and he says it's not his fault. I just wasn't buying it. And Don Quixote was, you know, this delusional old guy running around, like, fighting people. And that my grandfather would think that this was the pinnacle of literature. But then, you know, you look around, and the movies, television shows, Don Draper, it's the same thing. Midlife crisis guy going on a bender, behaving badly.
If you enjoyed this clip, you'll love the entire interview. Just visit robincall.com and subscribe to RWR Salon, where you'll be able to listen to all full-length Reading with Robin podcasts. With your new subscription, you'll become a member of our Facebook page, where we give away tremendous books twice a week and post exclusive content. You'll also get an awesome book surprise for your birthday, and first dibs and discounts to your favorite Reading with Robin events. So, go to robincall.com and subscribe today to RWR Salon for the low introductory rate. We look forward to seeing you there.